Halcyon Calc works with complex numbers. For people unfamiliar with complex numbers, they consist of two components, a real and an imaginary component. Halcyon Calc always expects complex numbers to be entered in rectangular coordinates and always returns results in rectangular coordinates. You can convert to and from polar coordinates, but in general, you will want to have rectangular coordinates on the stack, since most operations expect to find values in that form. If we take the square root of -1, you will see the result is the complex number 0, 1, which means the real component is 0 and the imaginary component is 1. The calculator can perform all of its basic operations, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on complex numbers. Also, you could do square, square root, and power operations on complex numbers. Complex numbers and real numbers can be mixed within single operations, so there's no need to do conversion. The trig and log operations also work with complex numbers. We can calculate the sign of the complex number 5, 4. Or we can get the natural logarithm of the complex number 2, 3. So you can manipulate complex numbers in much the same way you can work with real numbers on this calculator. There is a menu of buttons which provides functionality for working with complex numbers specifically. The buttons in the complex menu provide operations to convert real to complex numbers and back again, extract the real or imaginary components from a complex number, return the conjugate value of a complex number, convert to and from polar coordinates, and more. Halcyon Calc is a stack-based RPN calculator, but sometimes you would rather store values in a more convenient location than on the stack. For this, the calculator provides named symbols. Anything you can put on the stack can be stored in a symbol and then recalled at a later time by name. Let's put the number 123 on the stack and then store that number into the symbol X. To enter a symbol, start with a single quote character and then type the name of the symbol. So in this case, we hit the X button and enter. Now we have our symbol at the top of the stack and the number we want to store in that symbol. To store the value, press the STO button, which is short for store. These two entries have been popped off the stack. Note that symbols can be up to 127 characters long, so you are not restricted to just 26 values for each letter of the alphabet. Also, we stored a real number in X, but we could have stored a complex number, an integer, a list, another symbol, or even an equation if we wanted to. Anything you can put on the stack can be stored in a symbol. To see that X has the value of 123, we can just enter X and press Enter. If you omit the single quote, Halcyon Calc will look up the value of the symbol and push that onto the stack. If the symbol has no value, then the symbol will be pushed onto the stack. In this case, the value 123 is pushed onto the stack because that is the value of X. We can still enter the symbol X by pressing the single quote and X button. Now we can press the RCL or recall button to get the value of X. This button pops a symbol off of the stack and gets its value. But there is an easier way to browse the symbols on the calculator. If you press the User button, a menu will appear which are all the symbols on the calculator. If you have more than 6 symbols, you can swipe left or right to page through them. Tapping a symbol will bring up its value. If you type a single quote and then tap this button for a symbol, the name of the symbol is appended to the entry. The User menu is a great shortcut when working with symbols. One use for symbols is to store constant values from equations that you work with. But what happens if you want the same symbol to have different values? Halcyon Calc also supports directories. If we push the symbol temp onto the stack, we can then go to the memory menu and hit the CRDIR or Create Directory button. Now, if we go back to the User menu, we will see the button Temp. If we tap the Temp button, the menu buttons clear. What happened is that we switched to the temp directory and there are no symbols in this directory. If we get the value of X, we still get the number 123. Halcyon Calc searches parent directories also, so the X stored above the temp directory is found and its value is recalled. But if we put the number 456 on the stack and the symbol X, we can store a new value for X in the temp directory. Now, if we get the value of X, we get 456. But if we return to the home directory and get the value of X, we get 123. Directories are a great way to organize your calculations and group related symbols together. We will see them more when working with expressions.